Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't usually do videos like this, but I thought I would do a video of this. If you listen to the background, you can hear the 60 cycle hum of a single coil pickup. What I'm holding in my hands now is a product of Kalamazoo, Michigan. Hence Kalamazoo. It is the cheapest product that ever came out of that factory, and next to it is a copy of one of the expensive products that come out of that factory. This guitar I bought 1984 for $50 in a chipboard case. The case was just falling apart, probably the original case. And it needed love then, and it still needs love. I've never put a set of strings on this, and I've never attempted to do any kind of fixing, so 84, 94, 2004, 14, 30, 5 years, 35 years it's had these strings on it, and I kind of put it in tune a little bit. Got crummy tuners. It's missing 2 strings, but the neck is pretty straight, albeit the action's kind of funky because it's kind of low at the front and it gets a little higher towards the higher registers. But it doesn't have an adjustable bridge like this. But it's never had strings, and it has some crackling pots and stuff that need to be tightened. So I'm thinking I'm going to take this pickguard cover off and take a look at the electronics and spray some contact cleaner on those potentiometers and have a look underneath. Strings. I was like, they're gone. Okay, so it's missing a B and an E, but we'll put a new set of strings on there. And this is one of the cheapest guitars that Gibson ever made. They never put a Gibson logo on it. In fact, it had a Kalamazoo logo on it, made famous by CCR. Willie and the Poor Boys twangs his rhythm out on his Kalamazoo. And you ain't kidding that. I ain't got much of nothing, you know. So without further ado, let's see if we can manage a strap on this. Will be nice too. And we'll put some new strings on it, take the pick guard off, and clean up those pots, and just clean the guitar up in general. I've never done anything with this, and I've had it for 35 years. So it's hung on my shelf for all that time with just tons of dust. And let's have a look at it inside. See what we get. Okay, here's this wonderful rock and roll machine in all its glory. And I'm going to do a little quickie on it. I thought it would deserve at least a quickie. So off come the strings. Oh, you got to be careful about that. Oh, look at that. Oh no, I think I cut. Oh, don't cut that. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at that. Okay, and it looks like a 3rd grader has wrapped these around here. I know I never put a set on here. So it wasn't this third grader. So there you go. Careful not to do any damage to the phalanges. Let's see here. Has a nice rosewood fretboard, and it has some pretty worn frets. Oh, that's going to be fun to step on. Oh, that ought to go right through your foot. Let's see here. Uh-oh. Oh, goodness, look at that. Look at those. Those are... Take those mummies off there. Let's see what you got here. Yeah. Huh. How about that? Well, we'll get those off later. That's not any fun for you guys to watch. Let's take this pick guard off. Get these screws out. Got one out and I've already lost it. We'll put them on this paper towel so that we can hit it later and they can go flying everywhere. That'll be great. This, from the serial number, is, I think it's a 65. I think it's a 65. It might be a 66. Look at that. Look at that. That bridge. Is that not great or what? Piece of die cast. No, I don't know what it is. I think it's chrome to brass, I believe. That's kind of nice. Got some adjustments there. Oh, looks like we got a screw underneath here, so we'll have to take off this expert tremolo here. This tremolo that's just absolute precision piece. Geez, look at that. Looks like, I don't even know if that body is if that's a wood body or if it's press board or something. Looks like this has probably been off once before. Okay. Now the moment of truth. Well, it looks like these have to come out. Oh, we've got a wire there, and we have a couple of date codes. I wonder what the date codes on them potentiometers are. How to read those? Let me give you a close-up of those pots, and we'll think about the codes on them. If we can get a focus. Probably can't. Tell you what, I will take this camera off and I'll get a close-up of that. Okay. So what you have there is 137, 7817. And even though this guitar is in the 60s, you can tell that somebody's been in here and did some soldering. This possibly could have come from another guitar, and these have been resoldered also. So what that tells me is 137 is CTS. That's a CTS pot company or potentiometer company. And these potentiometers were made 1978, 17th week, or this one's 5th week of 1978. So this one was a February and this one was, I don't know, March or something, whatever. So they have been replaced. I pulled this off and I looked at it and I said, why isn't there not a ground wire on there? And then I did some checking of the part numbers, and what you have here is this potentiometer came from another guitar probably. So okay, let's get this cleaned up, and I've got some magic cleaner here. You know, here's the deal. I don't have any contact cleaner, but this is very light. It's got almost no lubricant in it. It's all solvent. So hopefully that will clean and help lubricate for a little while, make them less scratchy. And we will clean up these nasty this nasty neck, and we're going to lubricate these also, so and get the wires off there, the strings off there. So let's get that done, and I'll be back with you. Okay, we got this rock and roll machine apart, and we're cleaning it up, and you can notice that the body is not made of, well, it's made of sawdust and glue. There's a hole here that's been cut, and you can clearly see that it's sawdust and glue, and that this is not routed. This has not been routed because it's at a slant, and what it has been pressed into a mold. So this body has been it's sawdust and glue mixed up, and then pressed into a mold and then hardened. So yeah, we have tiny frets here. And we're going to use a little spray way on them, and we're going to do a little toothbrush action on here. A nice little rosewood fretboard, pretty cute, pretty sweet. We've got some mother of toilet seat inlays, dot markers. The frets are cheaply unbound, and it has an extremely crapulent plastic nut. To go with the, I was going to take the neck off the body, but I've decided against it because I don't know what might happen. So there you go. Oh, I've cleaned that up, and I have sprayed out our potentiometers, and I'm letting them dry a little bit, drain a little bit, so I can mop up some of this, some of that spray, and we'll clean the back of this really good, and we'll clean in here, and we'll put her back together. Also, I had tightened this a little bit. This had the jack, and so I pried it over just a little bit, and we'll probably rub that with a pencil eraser and try to get our contact back a little better. I think that'll fix the scratchiness in the pots. Let's clean up the body, and the back of the pick guard, we'll put her together, and we'll restring it. Oh, we have to lube up the tuners as well. So let's get that going. I knit you snot, ladies and gentlemen. The bridge is held together. This metal piece is held together with nails. 2 nails have been driven through here. So you can see how cheaply this was made. And you know, some kid for Christmas would be great for him to get it, but as far as some kind of professional machine that's gonna, I don't know, you might be able to do something with it, but it's just And then the intonation, here's your intonation right here. There's your intonation adjustment, and what it does is they have a reasonable facsimile of intonation on EADG, and then the B and E breaking up slightly, and then of course to pull it back like this would set the strings forward or back, and you would set the intonation that way as close as you could get. It's pretty funny. All right. So I put a drop of oil, a couple of drops of oil in there, and they turn a whole lot better. The keys now turn. The machines turn quite a bit better now. So I think we're ready for some strings. This one's a little hard, not too bad, but it turns still freely. So I think we're probably ready for some strings, and I'm just kind of pack the vibrola off a little bit because I'm not interested in using it, because as soon as you hit it, it would go out of tune, I would imagine. So we have that lined up relatively well. Put our bridge there, and I have to complement this guitar, I have a pack of JHS boomers made in Battle Creek, Michigan. So we'll put these on there, and see where we go. Let's start with that fat E. You guys don't really want to see me do this, do you? Do you really? You don't really want to see that. That's not any fun. Not going to be any fun. Let's see here. That's going to go in there. I think, as a bonus, I won't tie knots around the ends of my strings as they go into the machine heads. That's probably a better way to do it, I'm thinking. Abner had tied knots on them because apparently he thought that's how you should string a guitar. Let's see, which way are we going here? Which way do you want to go with this? Probably we ought to go this way. What do you think? There's no string tree. Let's give that a little bit more meat. And see if we can't wind her up that way. Do I want to wind it underneath or on top? Well, I've just lost my string. Alright. Do I want to wind her underneath? I'd have to wind it underneath, would I not? Let's look at this. That bridge back on there. Let's see here. Or would I wind it over the top? I guess that's the magic question, isn't it? Which way do you wind these? I can't imagine winding it over the top because it would put it right off the knot. So I'm not going to do that. Okay. Let's get these strings on there, and we'll have a listen to this rock and roll machine. Oops. Let's raise that bridge up just a tick. Almost like the strings are sitting right on the neck. So we're going to bring this up just a little bit. up, okay? I gotta futz with the tuners because they're not, I gotta loosen them up a little bit. They're a little too tight. I managed to get things worked out. The tuners are just, they're just so notchy, it's hard to get it in tune. Potentiometers are nice now. Jack doesn't make any noise. This is kind of nice. See, it's just... some. I think I'll take that for a win. Turn this back into a reasonable guitar that I could take and pick a little bit on. It's a real piece of history. I never said I was a guitar player, but I do like collecting them and I do like making noise. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I was glad to share that with you. I think that's a success, and we can store a pick in that, and we'll hang that on the wall of glory, and we'll hang this right down here next to the Telecaster. How about that? Alright, you folks have a nice day. Thanks for tweaking with guitars with me.